Hello there in YouTube. It's your boy Josh out.
That's your boy too.
And it's another episode of Sports Talk 10 Josh. And on this episode, we're gonna review Obi-Wan episode 5. But before we get started, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and just to give you a warning, we will discuss spoilers, potential spoilers. We're not gonna go in great detail, but I just want to let you know, go watch episode 5, then come back and review it. And also leave a comment, discuss whether you agree, disagree, doesn't matter. Okay. All right. All right, so my first impression, episode 5, Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was great, especially especially it showed Vader. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
trying not to go too much detail. It was just Vader, his power. He was just showing his power, and pretty much, I like how they led off. They had a tracker,
yeah,
so he pretty much followed them straight there, just to just to get the revenge. But
yeah.
what was
Straight
your
to that
impression?
island. Um, for me, my first impression, best episode of the series so
Yeah,
far.
I would
So
say
far,
that in episode 3, episode
yeah.
3. Only
Um,
I'm stuck between 3 and 5 because episode 3 he like murked the whole town, like
that's
almost.
true.
It was the way he led up to it. That's what I was like. Gee, I was like, wow,
Yeah,
these innocent
kind of
people.
like did just dog walk a whole human
Mhm.
during during the village. Like, so,
Yeah,
um, yeah. Episode 5. I mean, like I said, it was arguably the best of the series so far.
yeah, I would say episode 5 is the best episode. You changed my
Um,
mind. Changed my mind. At first, I was saying episode 3.
but each episode that he's been in part of, he has his moment. So I'm like, that's what I'm kind of like. But episode 5 was like, yeah, thoroughbred him. Um,
What was the best part of the episode? I think it's the ship.
actually,
I think it's
it's
the
the
ship.
ship, but
When
also
he
me.
grabbed it,
The
yeah.
it's also the flashback. It's the flashback. Actually, seeing Hayden Christensen in person outside of the Vader suit was kind of like my favorite part of
Mhm.
the ship too. But actually seeing Hayden Christensen sparring against Obi-Wan back when I think this episode 2 at the time or
It had to be
episode 1.
before. All right, it's probably before Revenge of the Sith.
So it had to be episode 2. So like after episode 2 or
Mm.
before episode 2 because it looked like it was before, or it might be, yeah, it's probably during because it looked like this around the same time or a
Could
little,
be.
or at least
Be
right
could
before.
be leading up to Revenge of the Sith. It could be
Yeah.
that.
All right. So seeing that and seeing that how his ego is still like from even from back in the day, his ego was still like his detriment to him. Like
Yeah,
he
his
always like to show off, like his anger always get the best of him. He always want to prove that he's the best, like or he's you know that he always outdo his master type of thing.
mhm.
And Obi Wan is like, bro, like you gotta learn. Sometimes it's better for you to save a life than take one. Like little life lessons.
Yeah.
Anakin was
And
like, I ain't with all that. so
he
so
tried to he tried to prove that with the ship, when he grabbed the ship,
mhm,
it was a decoy just for them to get away. So
yeah,
it used his arrogance, need to do everything and stuff like that.
exactly.
And so I would say that was a good message.
Yeah.
But what about the fight scene, Reva and Vader? That was a
Oh,
dope fight scene.
that was a dope fight scene. Only for the reason that it showed how powerful Vader really is, as far as like his fighting technique.
Man, come on, my man did it like handless with strictly
He
the
did it
force.
without a say. He actually did it without drawing his lightsaber,
Yeah, man.
his
Then
own.
he won't personally just to fight. I was like, geez, man, he was going pretty hard on that joint. But I also like how they did the imagery, like when they showed
Yeah,
her as a kid and showing Anakin.
like the
So
flashback, like yeah, because that memory. She said she still got that memory every time she see him, she think about that memory. So um that seeing the spoiler uh Grand Inquisitor coming back.
yeah, that was a
That was
great
dope.
reveal.
That was a
I
great
told
another, yeah.
well, we said that back when it happened.
Yeah.
I don't think he's dead. I don't think he did.
Yeah, because this is right before Rebels and everything. And he's in Rebels, so it was like it's no secret that he's gonna come back. It was just in it's gonna be in a whole different series, which it
I
already
think
happened. But
it was more of the betrayal, like she did anything to win. It was like
yeah,
even willing to kill him. So it
yes,
was more of that.
I mean yeah, because she was like, even though she is technically they're part of the same team, but they're not part of the same team because Vader do not like the Inquisitors at all. Everybody knows this. It's history. They know Everybody knows he don't like them. But the
Mhm.
fact that he was using her as the main source of it, and then her having that memory of pretty much Vader being Anakin at the time, of
Mhm.
him pretty much slaughtering the younglings, but kept her alive, or whatever the case may be with her, how she survived, or which we probably would never know. And unless they give her own series, and that's how we gonna know how she actually survived it. Um, Actually showed that, but the fight scene, yeah,
Mhm.
it you gotta be a master Jedi to mess with him, flat out. You have to be.
Mhm.
You can't be on the dark side and think you can see Vader 1-on-1. There's no way in hell you seeing him 1-on-1 as a
Mhm.
dark side or a youngling or a young Jedi. Ain't no way in hell you can beat him. Ain't no way.
Mhm.
He was the boogeyman for he was the boogeyman for a lot of Jedi's for a reason. For a reason, he was a boogeyman for them.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So
So I will say what we get is ranking 1 to 10, 0 to 10. What we get is rating. This rating of this
I mean,
episode.
there's no such thing as a perfect episode.
No,
Uh,
just ain't really.
yeah. So I would say me personally,
Mm.
because it ain't really no perfect ones. I'm saying 9.5.
Ooh, you went high. I said a 9, but you went straight for 9.5. That's damn near greatness. That's damn
Yeah.
near perfect standards.
I mean, for real, only reason why I gave it a 9.5 is the fact that, like I said, I was waiting for them to show Hayden Christensen being Anakin at some point. I was like, there's no way they're gonna bring him back to just be in the Vader suit. Ain't no way. So when I
No,
saw
but
him actually
what I like about what they doing, they showing Anakin, not just Darth Vader, showing the person behind the mask. So
before he
I,
actually fully became Vader, yes, like literally before he fully became Vader, like he was
yeah.
still Anakin to a lot of, especially Obi-Wan. He's known as
Mhm.
Anakin at this point. He's not known as Vader until New Hope. For
Yeah.
as far as like Kenobi saying it, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
Um, uh, Side question. Now we on the last of it. We're almost at the climax of this whole thing. What is your early episode 6 predictions?
Trying to think. I think they're leading this episode to Rebels before the Rebels.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's gonna probably pivot to that direction. That's what I'm thinking they're gonna do.
Yeah. For
Any
me,
you got any bold predictions? Any hot takes?
I think my only like bold prediction, I think we might see Reva become a great Jedi. I think
Ooh,
somehow, some way, Obi-Wan,
you think she's gonna come to leave the dark side? Because technically they left her for dead, pretty
they
much.
left her for dead, so she can't go back to the Empire. She can't.
Mm,
Because they'll kill her right on sight. They'll kill her. I think for her character, I think this she will be the great Jedi like Ahsoka Tano. I think
mm,
she will be a great Jedi as well, and
mm,
I think that might lead into another series with her because they
mm,
have been talks about having her own series. So if she becomes a great Jedi, I can see that being like the lead off for her, like a great
mm.
Jedi or her own series. Um, Obi-Wan, like you said, I think this might go into Rebels, might even go into it might even go to Book of Boba Fett. Who knows? Like we don't know.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out how they're gonna end it. We don't know if they haven't announced they're gonna have a season two. So
Yeah,
are they gonna leave us like on a cliffhanger for the second season, or they just gonna end it as a limited series?
yeah. So if it is a season two, I think they're gonna continue with an Tatooine, and he might go out and, like you said, to the Rebel storyline where he would be included in that some way somehow.
Hmm.
Um, any other characters that really is gonna have a story arc at the well, we already know about the Grand Inquisitor. He gonna
Any
be in
big
Rebels.
reviews? Any big reviews? Somebody like close
I
with.
think the Force. I think the Force Ghost of Quan Jin Jin might show up. I think he
Okay,
finally. I think he finally finds a way to communicate with Quan Jin Jin
okay.
from the Force Ghost. I mean of Quan Jin. Um.
Because I'm trying to think of any like something. Watch when we come back for
Oh,
episode six. Like yeah. Oh.
and then I think this is my last prediction, and we probably ended over. I think this when they. I think this episode we find out that two things. One, Vader finds out he got kids, and two, I think this is when we find out Luke has the Force.
Yeah. Because they dropped a hint if you remember from episode five. Luke, they showed Luke,
Hmm.
and I actually think you're correct. They are going to find out, probably reveal that he did have two kids, and it's shocking that Layla was the child that he pretty much
Didn't know,
had
yeah,
didn't know. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense for it then like that.
yeah. Because right now, I mean, he didn't. Because technically, if we go off the history, he didn't know Leia was his until what Empire Strikes Back.
Mhm,
He knew Luke the longest. He knew about Luke from the get go. From
mhm.
Obi Wan, he knew about Luke from the get
He
go.
still thinks she passed away during childbirth.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Kids
saying.
making. I think he going with that. He probably don't
Yeah.
know.
But he's only think. See the thing. But the funny thing is, he's only thinking he got one. He ain't think he had two. He just
Yeah.
think he had Luke. That's the only one he thought he had. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think they're gonna find out Luke has the force, or Luke probably gonna use the force, maybe to save himself or save Obi Wan
Mhm.
in some type of battle. Who knows? And two, Vader will find out that he has kids or a kid, and then he find out about the other one later. That's later down the line. But he found out he has a kid.
Mhm.
So
Okay. I actually agree
yeah,
with that. It's just a bold prediction. We could be wrong. Could be wrong,
yeah,
or we could be right. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and also if you can like it, share it, help our channel grow, and join our Facebook group. Join the community. All right.
yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace
Deuce.
and love, everybody.